up, OilyAppers? It's your girl Hannah here on this third Wednesday of December. I hope you're having a blessed week thus far and excited for what's to come, not only during the holidays and seeing family, but also for the new year. And we here at OilyApp are super excited for what's to come as we reflect from 2020 and 2021 and look forward to 2022. I am soon about to be joined by the owner and CEO of OilyApp, Ernie Yarbrough, to discuss a lot of what we learned this year and a lot of what's to come within the company of OilyApp itself. But before I do that, I want to remind you, if you've not yet, please go like us on Instagram and Facebook. You can follow us there, be in the loop for all the fun giveaways and information we have, as well as going back and listening to the previous podcast episodes here on the OilyApp podcast. Once again, Chase Harrison was joining with us last week as we kind of talked about personal goals and not having to wait until the new year to get in shape or focus on whatever part of yourself you want to focus on. You don't have to wait until the new year. You can make a decision every day to be the best version of yourself. And then in the next couple of weeks, we'll be joined by the one, the only Jim Bob Haggerton to dive deep into more support for the holidays, whether it's emotional or physical or spiritual, whatever it is for you, how you can best support yourself fully during the holidays. But with all that to say, gonna toss this to Ernie Yarbrough, once again, the owner and CEO of OilyApp, to kind of discuss what we here at OilyApp are reflecting back from the last year or two. A lot of change has occurred and what we are excited for the future. So with that said, Ernie, hello.
Hey, thank you for having me on the podcast.
I mean, technically it's your podcast, but you're welcome.
Well, that's one of the things we've learned in this past year is turning things over to folks and letting people use their passions and their skills. And so I think you've done a fantastic job with it. So very thankful to have you doing the podcast.
I appreciate it.
So looking back, wanted to take a moment here and ask Hannah as we mapped out the podcast schedule to see if we could take a moment as we come to the end of this year and look forward to the new year. And reflect on what we've gone through, what we've learned in this past year, some important lessons and some bumps in the road. But also through those bumps in the road, God is good, and He has opened up doors and opportunities, and given clarity, refined vision, and even better paths to bring you guys the best essential oil education and community on the internet. And so wanted to take a minute and just talk for kind of a little bit about this past year. You know, if you've been following OilyApp for at least through this past year, but probably longer than that, you often heard the voice of Andy Jenkins. And so obviously he's not with OilyApp anymore. And there was a process of events that happened in this past year whereby Andy decided to separate himself from OilyApp and pursue other things. And so in that process, we step back to evaluate and say, there's a lot of moving parts, and we have a team of people, and we felt like maybe we weren't utilizing everybody's skills and talents to the best that we could. And so, you guys often don't see me making Facebook posts or doing the podcast because I'm more behind the scenes, and I'm happy to be that way. I don't have to be the face of it in terms of, on the Facebook regularly, or even though I'm there, we do some really fun, Testimony Trio Thursdays, and we've added some new things recently, the scavenger hunt and so forth, that seem to be a lot of fun. People seem to be really enjoying them, and getting some product credits and enjoying their products and just having fun, because we want to continue to develop that online community just to have fun and to make health and wellness not only provide tools to empower you so that you can walk that out for yourself and your family, but also to have a fun, vibrant community where people just enjoy being there and they have a good time and they look forward to it. Hopefully it's a bright spot in your day. But so in this past year, in 2021, with the team being reshaped and refined, I kind of came back to the drawing board and thought, well, what we need to do is we need to utilize the talents and the skills that the people on our team have, and kind of not have one person doing so many things, but multiple people empowered to do what they're good at. And so as we kind of thought about that and designed, we said, well, hey, Hannah obviously has a background in podcasting. That was a natural choice. Chase has got a lot of skills with tech skills and website stuff, and and loves designing and engaging with project broadcast, right? If you guys remember, Oily Tools is a great app by Jake Dempsey, and so he's developed this phenomenal resource called Project Broadcast, and so Chase has been loving designing and engaging marketing ideas for that, and helping me in a lot of stuff, whether it's graphics and creating tools that then the social media team can use to engage our fantastic users with. So as we were working on all that, we said, well, we have this thing called also OilyApp Plus, as you know, online classes and courses. And one of the bumps in the road, the bigger bumps in the road, is as we transitioned towards utilizing the skills of multiple people on our team, we had a situation where we had to transition away from a platform where OilyApp Plus classes and courses were delivered that had some significant challenges involved with transitioning away from that. And so in the process, we thought, well, as we move towards this new platform, which we're on now, what really is OilyApp all about? And honestly, it's in the name, right? It's OilyApp. And so we wanted to bring the app back front and center. And that's why there haven't been as many updates this year to the app, really at all, because we've had a lot of other issues we've had to deal with in regards to the team changing, and challenges that were presented and given to us, whether we wanted them or not, for swapping platforms and personnel issues and so forth. And so in that process, what we've decided to do is we're going to be actually focusing on refining the app and making it better, and in fact, bringing all of the OilyApp Plus classes and courses into the app. So our website now is going to just focus on advertising about the app and OilyApp Plus classes and courses. Also, we're expanding. This is very exciting. We're expanding our team of teachers and presenters who are going to be making great classes and courses for the app. So what's going to happen is we're about to release 2 updates right now as of the recording of this podcast that are going to, number one, catch the app up with all the great products that have been in the recent, the last year or so released from Young Living. And a whole slew of updated uses and applications. We've had some great moms, Oily moms, platinums in the business, just pour over the app and say, hey, let's update the uses for all this and make them, freshen them up, make them even more useful, more practical and applicable to the needs that people have on their everyday life. So those 2 are about to go live, and then we're about to bring all the OilyApp Plus classes and courses into the app. That should be happening hopefully by sometime in January. So you'll be able, if you're an already existing OilyApp Plus user, you'll have access to those in the app. And then if you're not, you'll have access to either do in-app purchases to purchase individual classes and courses, or if you'd like to subscribe as well and then have access to the entire library. So that's something I'm super excited about, and we're going to just kind of refine the website to make it focused about advertising the app and just pouring tons of resources into the app, as well as fun online engagements like the scavenger hunt, like Thursday, like Testimony Trio Thursday or Testimony Thursday, or however we want to do that, and Friday with the giveaways, and just really turn our attention, like I said, number 1 to the app, number 2 to fun and creative ways to engage the OilyApp community. And then hopefully also in doing so, it cuts down on the confusion. Like, where do I go? Is it OilyApp? Is it online? Is it, because we had this kind of weird division where there was stuff on the website and not in the app, right? Well, we're going to bring it all right to your smart device, phone or tablet, right? And that's going to be the focus of just making that just excellent. So besides these two new updates, 4.6 and 4.7, if you follow versions and stuff in the App Store and the Google Play Store, that will get all those products up to date, add in a whole brand new section on DIY videos, which I'm really excited about, freshen up the recipes, add tons of new products and uses. Then the version 5.0 is the big one, where we're going to add in this idea of an OilyApp user account. And what that's going to do is allow you to create a free account so that you can not only, if you're already a paid user of OilyApp Plus classes and courses, access those in the app, but then we're bringing, because we'll have this idea of an OilyApp user account that you can just email and password right in the settings page of the app, it's going to unlock an entire wonderful door of cloud-based resources. So we're talking about one of the requests we've had a lot is, hey, I've got 3 devices that I have OilyApp on. I want to have my inventory across all the devices synced up, right? It's going to do that. You're going to have wish lists. You're going to have all kinds of really awesome cloud-based services and syncing of data across multiple devices that you have not yet had the chance to have because we haven't had this idea of an OilyApp account. Right? But you'll be able to create that for free. So that's kind of where we've looked back and we've transitioned to giving everybody on the team. We think, hey, you're good at this, let's do this. Jim Bob's great at teaching. Hannah's great at podcasts. Chase has got these technical kind of a jack of all trades, kind of behind the scenes helping me. And focusing and refining that and bringing in some more fresh teachers to go along with Dr. Jim Bob in the new year, which I think you're going to love. So we've had a refined vision. We've had a refining of the team, a sharper focus. And I feel like we are poised like never before to make the app itself a tremendous resource for people like never before. And then lastly, a couple things is we're super excited. You've probably seen some of the emails, Facebook announcements. We have partnered with the YL Summit, the Young Living Summit, which has been now the 7th time that it's been an online summit where it's had in the last 6 years, like 130 to 150,000 people have attended this thing. And it's tons of great young living people, presenters on a wide array of topics. This year, for the first time ever, I got confirmation today, Mary Young and probably Jacob as well are going to make their own videos to do this event for us. It's a pre-recorded set of videos by all these teachers, presenters, leaders in Young Living, and also Prasad and the executive team are going to do a video for us as well, going to interview them. So we've never had that in the summit. So OilyApp is kind of taking over the Young Living Summit and moving the dates from, if you follow the summit, from normally October, November to January, right? And from here on out, it's going to be January of every year, the third Monday of January. So excited about that. And then we're launching in March the Medical Freedom Summit. And so we're having doctors, nurses, all kinds of people on medical freedom, not just the concept, why it's important, but then great tools and resources. We got one person talking about how that food is medicine, right? So it's not just raise the flag of freedom, but here's tools to walk it out responsibly. So a lot of stuff going on, but a refining of focus, focusing on the app, focusing on empowering Hannah and Chase and Jim Bob and some other teachers to do what they do well, keep it all in the app and around the app, and then a couple of great online virtual events that we're very excited about. So that's kind of the past, the present, and moving forward into the future.
Well, I want to add one thing. I think it's so important. And I think you see this in a lot of businesses. I think it's really just getting back to the basics. I mean, one of the best things Young Living does is focus on simplicity and focus on, business building and just kids, right? And so they've really focused on what do we want to instill our business leaders, whoever, to share the business. It is simply just letting people sign up. And that's why I think you've seen the change to Young Living to where you can simply send them a link and then go from there. They don't have to buy a PSK to get started. They can start with a CBD joint muscle balm or a lavender lotion, whatever it may be. And so I think that's been one of my passions for OilyApp is, I've said it for a while, is let's get back to the app. I think it's so important that companies and businesses that started small, make sure they're doing everything well before they get bigger. Sure. And I think that's one of my passions within OilyApp is that we have such an amazing tool for people, whether they're a distributor, business builder, or whether they are simply someone who just uses the oils. It is such an important piece of information that not only are we compliant, but we're Young Living approved, and we work directly with Young Living. Yep. And so I think it's having the best possible app experience for people, and then focusing on how can we make the app better. And so I'm super excited for this. I've had tons of conversations. I went to Michigan in October, which feels like such a long time ago, and so many of them are like, hey, when's the app going to be updated? Hey, when are you going to add this and this? And so I'm excited for people to get to see the full potential of the app, just like I think people have seen this year how Young Living's really listened to the field and listened to people and what they want. And I feel like people are super excited and are thriving in their business. And that is kind of my hope and my prayer for this company and for all of you is that you will be excited to see the changes that are occurring that you don't really see right now because it's kind of behind the scenes, but that you also benefit from that. So I think Ernie did a great job of explaining, what our lessons learned from the past year or two, as also how we are using that and what we've learned to flourish and to grow.
Yeah, and there's been, besides the two things that affected, even for a while wanting to focus on getting back to the app, was not only was there a refinement of the kind of the social marketing, social and the marketing and the content creation team, but in that process there was a refining of the dev team as well, the coders, right? And I'm one of those coders, and so we had to refine our team and in that refinement, get back to where we were willing to do what allowed us to immediately add value and impact in the app in the field. And so, if I think of OilyApp in 2021, kind of like Young Living, I think of the word refinement. And that's what's happened. And, Black Friday, Cyber Monday was fantastic. Why? For Young Living. Because they were willing, people know there was website troubles and challenges and things, because somebody was willing, Prasad and the amazing executive team were willing to rip off the Band-Aid, address the problem, and walk through the pain in order to get to a better tomorrow. And that's what we've been doing this year.
Well, I am super excited for what's to come, and I know y'all are too. And I wanted to say this: if you ever have any ideas for how we can better serve you, how we can better, instill you with tools to grow your business, to provide you with more information, please feel free to reach out to us. You can email us at team@OilyApp.com, or you can go to our Facebook or Instagram page, send us a DM, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, for Hannah,
Ernie,
we just want to say thank you, and we are super excited for what's to come, and we just want to thank you for your patience, your grace, your love, and your excitement for OilyApp. And just know that without y'all, this is impossible, and we really just want to give y'all the best content and app experience and information to the best of our ability. Anything else you want to say?
Well, just look this week for one, if not two, updates to the app that are going to be make a major difference in the content and the updated products and usages. And after that, it's the big 5-0, which is the birthday, I guess. Yeah. But it's the big update with the user account. So it's going to allow a ton of stuff. Super exciting.
Well, once again, feel free to go like us and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And just know that we here at OilyApp love you, appreciate you, and want you to be the best you can be every single day. So for Hannah and for
Ernie,
we'll talk to you next week. Bye, guys.